Oh, come on, man. Today's a big one. We got a big one in store for you today, kids. Happy Tuesday morning. Welcome back to Paul and Max Particles. Great to be on board today. Great to see Creative Tony on a Roby Tuesday, no less. The day is finally here. We are getting ready to rock and roll tonight. We've got the PMP Familia coming out in full force tonight as we will be attending the Giants-Cubs game. Really looking forward to hanging out with all of you guys. And the pre-party, the pre-game tailgate, if you will be occurring at Longbridge Pizza. We'll be heading down there, I think, in the 3 o'clock hour. I think, Tony, I should be getting down to Longbridge around 4 o'clock. That's what time I'm shooting for, to arrive at 4, hang out for an hour or so, eat some pizza, and then we'll head over to the game where we have an entire section, more or less, to ourselves. We're going to just drop anchor in the club section and get ready to have a great time. We got a nice show lined up for you today. We'll go through the particulars for tonight. We will also give you some breaking news in the NFL, good and bad. And also, we've got a great guest joining us today, Michael Nash, the promoter, good friend of ours, too, for a long time. Michael Nash is the promoter of the annual Sound Summit concert up on Mount Tam. This year, they've got cake coming back. They've got a Sly Stone tribute. Should be a lot of fun. So Michael will join us at about 11:30. Creative Tony, let me say good morning to you, buddy. I see all of our friends on the comments line. Great to see you guys lining up today. How you feeling, Tony? You ready for a big night, buddy?
Dude, I'm so pumped, and I already talked to Neil Denardi at Longbridge. He's going to make a special pizza to celebrate the engagement of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. They're going to have a
special. I was not expecting that. Dude, go ahead. I'm at a loss. I'll try to, let me see if I can get my thoughts together. But go ahead, finish your thought, bro. I know it's a lot to take on a Tuesday. I don't want to be overshadowed by T Swift and Travis. You know what I mean, dude? And by the way, Tony, Travis.
The whole thing just, it reeks, man, because like the announcement time.
It's all perfectly manipulated by her team and her publicist, you know what I mean? And her like Q people. Dude, yeah. Oh, what a coincidence. It's right on the eve of the NFL season. Tony, that means this entire NFL season is going to be like an advertisement for like, Monthly Bride or one of those magazines about getting married. And, it's going to be a celebration of Taylor Swift. Oh God, here it comes, bro. I know.
Here we go. There we go. Paulie, your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married.
It's so funny. I get what she did there. It's so cute. Do you see up at the top too? It's so high school. It's so high school. By the way, over under on when this thing crashes and burns. How many years did these guys get before the big divorce comes? Because I wonder if Taylor Swift will be as happy with a former NFL player on her arm as opposed to a relevant, every Sunday kind of guy. What do you think, T? What's the over under on this thing?
Unfortunately, Paulie, I think it lasts. I really do. And I just read an article, or like, so I have one of my wife's hairs coming off of the beach robe. Okay. That's obviously not mine. I just read an article that this might be his last season and that he might retire after this season. And what I hate the most is they could have announced this, like, I don't know, in May or June, like in the middle of the off season. Like when, but no, we're going to hold off to literally the week before the season starts. And it's a whole marketing ploy.
What an incredible coincidence that is. Yeah, just so is the football season about to start? I hadn't realized. I was so wrapped up with my high school love affair. By the way, that you have now like encroached upon like the peaceful state of the PNP community. When you see Corinne getting pissed off, dude, Corinne's out here dropping F Taylor Swift, F Kelce. I'm with you, Corinne. I think we're all with you on this. But anyway, Patty from Napa. I go, how many years? What's the over under? She just goes 3 years. 3. I love it. I hope you're right, Patty. I want to see this thing crash and burn. I really do.
And Paulie, Robot Centaur from the Robot Centaur Sports Desk. By the way, Robot Centaur, I assume that you're going to be on fire later this afternoon with all the 53-man rosters. And we got players getting released left and right all morning long. But he says, Tony, they couldn't announce it back then because you can't rush love, is what he said on the
dude, let me tell you a couple things here. By the way, Rag's not wasting any time either. Travis, honey, turn around. It's time for your pegging. Hello. Wow. Hey, Rags is bringing some of that Rags flavor to the show. That's what it is, dude. You're pegging. I got you, Rags. Stevie B, what's going on? Travis is taking her last name, dude. Travis Swift. Okay. Travis Swift. Is he going to throw a Swift on the back of his jersey at least once this year, Tony? Yes or no?
Could be. Could be. The whole thing just reeks of just marketing and sales, and it. I'm sure they called Roger Goodell and said, "Hey, Roger, we're going to release this news right before the season. It's going to be great for everybody." And then once you come to our opening day game, we're probably going to have like an on-field announcement after the game or at halftime or some whatever, dude. I'm just riffing, of course, but
I'm looking for the Chargers to stomp that ass on opening night with because don't forget you got the Raiders, you got the Cowboys and the Eagles are playing next Thursday. And then the very next night, a Friday night tilt.
Yeah, I want to play on Friday, man. I like me and my dogs. Me and my dogs like to play on Friday.
So they're going to give the Muppet a Friday night stage. I'm looking for the Chargers to drop a Harbaugh-sized hammer right on the Chiefs on that Friday night. I'm saying it right now. Go Charger. Go Bolts, dude. Go Bolts. Dude,
and by the way, so I coach my daughters, and Stevie B, we're going to get to your super in a second. Mark Gravy, you're super as well. Escobar, you're super.
Thank you, boys. Yeah.
By the way, Escobar's in the news today, in the PMP news, that we're going to get to Escobar later on in the show.
Gravy's in the news too. I got a big announcement to make about Gravy, but you go ahead first. I know a lot of our people, there's a lot of interaction going on today.
Well, it's a great day. We got the game coming up tonight, but first of all, Paulie, is that oh no, I just lost my train of thought. Gosh,
we're doing supers. You were talking Gravy, Escobar, Longbridge. Yeah. We got big announcements. What do you got?
It had something to do with Goodell and Travis and Taylor. It'll come back to me.
It was Stevie B's message says if KC wins anything fishy, the NFL is definitely the WWE. I think that's already happened, Stevie B. That the WWE era of like influencing games for the Chiefs, I think, has been upon us for a couple of years now. All right, Tony, why don't you work through the supers and we'll give some lows to Carlos because we got a big day with Carlos yesterday too. We had a great time with Los D. And we'll get into Gravy. Here it is, dude. I was going to do this, but you brought it to me. So, okay, here we go. So, Gravy, this is my main man, Mark Graves, and one of our great supporters. So, he's asking, Paulie, where did you get that shirt? Now, Tony, take the super down so I can show this bad boy off for a second. So, you see, Gravy.
You might have to stand up. You might have to stand up a little bit, dude. Yeah, you might have to rise. All rise. Dude, look at that. That is amazing.
Rest in peace, Ozzy, with his born and death dates on there. And that is from our great friend, Mark Graves. Thank you. I'm wearing this thing proudly, Gravy. Thank you very much for the generosity. I got this yesterday at the Lunch with Los. What do you got, Tony? What?
Oh, no, please, God, help me.
Yeah, all day. All damn day. All freaking day. Gravy, thank you very much. And Tony, you are the recipient of an incredibly generous Mark Graves gesture as well. Well, go ahead. I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, Gravy, thank you so much, man. I'm going to rock mine on tomorrow night's night flight. We received these gifts yesterday, and Gravy, thank you so much, man. Just the generosity, the random act of kindness, man. It's so rad. So thank you so much, Gravy. I'm going to rock mine tomorrow night, and I'm just going to leave it at that. It's Sabbath related, but it's not Aussie. Let's just put it that way. And I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I got to say, it's pretty freaking badass. The Gravy gift that Tony received yesterday. Why don't we do this, Tony? We'll get back to Taylor Swift. We got a whole show. Oh, we're still doing supers. My bad.
Here's Escobar the third. Look, I hope their love lasts. Talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
I love. Escobar the third says. He goes, I just don't DGAF about it. I just don't give an F about it.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. It's why you got to throw it in our faces. That's the thing. The timing is what just really
stinks out loud, bro. It stinks to the high heavens that this thing is coinciding with the kickoff of the NFL season. It's so offensive. Like,
I remember what I was going to say, Paulie. But I remember what I was going to say. So I coached my daughter. I coached my daughter's soccer team. Shout out the Green Queens. That's their name. Last night we had our first practice last night. My daughter Olivia's team and Coach Bob Wentz, great dude.
From Carson.
Actually, it's funny. I've never asked him, but his family owns a Christmas tree farm in Jersey.
Nice.
So I wear the swag out here. He gets it for me every year.
You know what town in Jersey? Like where in New Jersey? I'd be curious.
Forget. I'll look it up. It up. But he's from Jersey and he's a huge Eagles fan. And so last night I said, "Hey, dude,
I must be South Jersey." Because just so you break it down, Tony, so you know, like. South Jersey is close to Philly, so they kind of claim Philly as their kind of go-to hub. And up north, where I lived in Jersey, Rags, we were New York City. We're closer to New York, so we like the New York stuff. They like the Jersey. So I'm guessing he's a South Jersey guy if he likes Philly.
Abascon, New Jersey.
Yeah,
Abascon. Is that South?
South Jersey? Yeah.
Okay, so the Wentz Christmas Tree Farm. Shout out if you're in Abascon, New Jersey, get yourself a Christmas tree. Anyways, I said, hey, he's a huge Eagles fan. I said, hey, did you catch all the episodes, any of the episodes of The Kingdom yet? And he goes, what are you talking about? And I told him about The Kingdom, and he goes, he looks at me and he starts dribbling a soccer ball away from me. He goes, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's real cute. And I was like, dude, that's the perfect response for it.
No, I just want to add, just kind of put this on the table for everyone's examination. Don't forget that the Eagles kicked the living snot out of the Chiefs, yet the Chiefs get like a mini series about them. They lost the Super Bowl. I'm just throwing that out there. All right.
And Coach Bob said, he goes, dude, so obviously we're planning on the three-peat. Obviously, they had cameras around the team hoping for a three-peat, and it didn't happen. And they had to do something with the footage.
Right.
And they had to pay people all this to record and produce all this footage. So then they had to release it anyways. And I love the fact that they're releasing it and with egg on their face. Like they just assumed this three-peat was going to happen. I can't raise my double guns anymore because of out of respect for Cron.
I know we're trying to be good boys. We're not going to turn into Boy Scouts, but at the same time, we're trying to be respectable young men on this new platform. And shout out to Cron.
How about just fists? And imagine double guns with the fists. How about that?
A good fist, dude. How about we just point the fist right at the? Hey, Kelsey, right here. Yeah. Dude, this is my new way of flipping off Kelsey. Yo, Kelsey, bam, brother. That's what I think of you. Knuckles. All right. I know. That's even funnier, actually, than the finger. I like that even more. All right, Tony, let's talk about Low D and Flex Funding because we had a great day yesterday, kind of an appetizer to tonight's main course, the Learn with Los event. Tonight, really, this whole thing really does revolve around Carlos de la Fuente from Flex Funding. He's been a great sponsor to us. We've become friends with this guy. And, Tony, I just think that's worth mentioning for a second, that like the way this community has kind of shaped itself, we've become friends with a lot of these people. It's not just like Carlos and I do business. We hang out now. So yesterday we went up to Sausalito, and Don Peralta, just the gangster of all gangsters, made a couple phone calls. Next thing you know, we got a table at Skoma's in Sausalito, right on the water. Just magnificent setting, really beautiful afternoon in Sausalito. And I should tell everybody, when you see Carlos tonight, when you see Los D, just wish him a happy birthday, because his happy birthday is coming up on Monday. So we did like an early birthday lunch for him and stuff like that. Do you have any of those pictures by any chance, Tony?
I do. Here's Los right now. I'm about to dive into some birthday tiramisu right there. Let me get rid of the banner actually for a second.
Just for a second. Yeah.
For a second. Here we go. So you can see the full photo. There you go. There's Los diving into the birthday tiramisu. Dude, shout out the girth of a Los, man. Like, I'd like to get like an Escobar Los standoff, by the way. And then at the end of the lunch, Paulie, after that is when we went out to the deck, Dom, myself, and Los, and dude, beautiful skyline behind us with the fog.
That's a great picture. That's a great picture right there. And you're right, by the size of a Carlos, bro. He's bringing that like offensive lineman kind of size to the equation. But yeah, a lot of happy faces right there. Happy birthday, Carlos. It was great to hang out with you. And we got the drive-by surprise guest appearance out of nowhere from Leah Phillips. Bam! All of a sudden she hit the scene. So Leah had lunch with us too, and it was just a great hang session. And of course, it's all under the umbrella of Carlos being a great sponsor to us with Flex Funding. And again, handling private money loans, handling any mortgage issue that you might have. We talked a little bit of HELOC yesterday at the lunch. We were talking HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. You know about the trust. We hang out with this guy. He's a friend of ours. So obviously we're very happy to represent him and recommend him. Talk to Carlos anytime about your financial situation and how you can make it better, more productive, and more effective for you as you go forward. 925-250-4894. You can email Carlos anytime, carlos@myflexnow.com. And again, Tony, I'm recommending tonight, especially we're hanging out at Longbridge or at the game itself. Approach, if you have a question, you've been watching the show, you're like, you know what, I kind of want to do business with Carlos, but I'm a little intimidated. This is the night to have a conversation with him. It'd be very easy to approach him, hang out, learn with Los, hence the name of the event tonight. And Tony, I look forward to it big time. And don't forget, Carlos de la Fuente is licensed in California. So Tony, as we say, I don't know, from Willits to Pacifica, from Folsom to San Diego. Doesn't matter where you're watching the show, where you guys are living, whether you're picking us up on the Cron 4 Plus app, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. We're all over the place now. This thing's gone widespread. So however you're picking up the show, just know you can do business with Carlos regardless of your location in California.
You can go or out of state too. You could go from Rancho Cucamonga to Reno, Nevada. So you can go in-state, out-of-state with Los. Obviously, born and raised in the Bay Area, 26 years in the biz. He knows the Bay Area inside and out. The way he and I were talking about the Bay Area yesterday, it was just great to talk about.
Sorry to jump in, Tony, real quick, but on that note, before I forget, to your point about talking old school San Francisco, dude, everything from Zim's to Doggy Diner came up yesterday at the lunch, dude. Doggy Diner and Zim's, fist in the air. Yeah.
Pasquale's Pizza, Milano's Pizza, Front Room Pizza, all these places, pizza joints that I used to frequent, Los used to frequent too. And by the way, we talk about Los. Tonight's event was Los's idea.
Yeah.
Lunch yesterday, Los's idea. He is all about community and relationships. And it was evident yesterday with our hang yesterday at lunch. And it was funny because we were talking about like planning for college tuitions. It had nothing to do with like talking about Carlos and flex funding, and then all of a sudden Los elbows me and he goes, dude, enter the word HELOC, and like, so any of you out there that are like have kids going to college and need extra dough, talk to Carlos about a HELOC, because that could help you. The home equity line of credit, that could help you. And those kind of loans you can turn around in sometimes as quickly as 8 days. So it's these situations, present them to Los, and he wants to have the conversation. And we just love having Los on board, and we can't thank him enough for the support. And he's Sacred Heart Fighting Irish city guy, and love you, Los, and really thanks for yesterday, and looking forward to tonight too, man. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carlos. Carlos de la Fuente, everybody. Los D on the streets, 925-250-4894. We'll see him tonight. We'll see all of you guys tonight. All right, Creative Tony, let's dive into the show a little bit. Tonight, the Niners are going to make their final cuts today. You will have your final roster in place by later this afternoon. How are you feeling about Niner ball? Here we are, dude. The season it's right around the corner now. We got college football by the way, Ohio State, Texas. Nice game this weekend, dude. Are you psyched for college football first before we go back? Because
yes.
Saturday is just going to be an avalanche of college ball.
Yeah, I'm excited for just football to be back. And I love baseball, but especially when the Giants are the seasons where they struggle, football is like that welcome hug. Like, you've been down and out for a little while. You've been struggling. You've been grasping at any Giants goodness that you could find, and now it's time for football. And I love fantasy football, so I'm getting to get knee deep in that. Love college football. I grew up a Cal Bear fan because my grandfather and his brother, my great uncle, they both went to Cal.
You don't talk about Cal Bear football. You don't talk, and I like Cal. I like Cal too. I support the Bears.
I mean, what if I have to choose? I'm not a Stanford hater like most Cal alums are. Yeah, but if I have to choose between Cal and Stanford, I always choose Cal, always. And I love the Republic of Berkeley, California. And but I do like
it's like a spiritual crisis though, because I got Grateful Dead kind of like flags planted on both campuses. You know what I mean? Like, how many great shows have we seen at the Greek Theater on the campus of Berkeley over at Cal? Oh, but then again, how many great shows have the Dead played down at the Frost Amphitheater, for God's sakes, at Stanford? So it's like, I don't know which way to go. But I'm with you. I don't hate Stanford. I support both schools. I think it's good when both schools are competitive. But I interrupted you. Sorry, T. Go ahead. Finish your thought, man.
No, and also, when I was in college at St. Mary's College and USF, I had friends at Stanford. I had friends at Cal, and I went and partied and hung out at both schools.
Why did you go to Cal, Mr. St. Mary's USF?
To be honest with you, Paulie, I didn't. I talked to the coach, Bob Milano, back at the time, and he was like, I was getting recruited by them. But dude, he looked at my grades and he goes, you have a 3. I literally had a 3.0 on the nose, 3.0.
Yeah.
And it pissed my parents off till no end because they're just like, dude, you're getting by, you're skating by.
Hello,
Like,
me and you both, buddy. Look where we wound up. Polymax Particles. By the way, I got to tell you right now, if they were looking at your grades, the coach was looking at your grades and he was like, all right, this kid is obviously spending a lot of time listening to Rad albums. I don't know if he's right for us. You know what I mean? Too much time spent on Stephen Piercy and the Sunset Strip. Not enough time maybe in the academics. Right.
He's like, yeah, we don't want the rat gang here at Cal. So we
really need the rat gang rolling up here to our practices with Creative Tony going, it's your neck in this rat gang. Anyway, go ahead.
No. So anyways, he just said, I don't think you're going to be able to get in here with your grades. And I said, okay, that's fine. I wasn't like a bad student. I just kind of middle of the road 3.0. So,
hello, me too. Me and you both, buddy. Yes.
I gave up some moonshot home runs against the Cal Bears. I played against this guy, Troy Penix was his name. A beast of a human being. He took one. Anyways, these home runs that you give up as a pitcher are just they're locked in my head because off the bat you're just like, oh Christ, wow.
Yeah. Not a good feeling. Yeah.
Right. This guy John Zuber, great player. Matt Luke. Cal had some good players back in the day when I played against him. But anyways, I don't even know how we got on the Cal.
What was your original thought about Cal? You brought up the Cal Bears. We're talking college football this weekend.
I support both, and I go to take the kids to both Cal games and Stanford games every year. But I'm wishing one day for them to just be good again. But dude, Max Medina, shout out our friend Max Medina, Paulie. He has a great T-shirt. It's a navy blue T-shirt, gold letters. It says, "We're going to be so good next year." And it's
probably the biggest Cal honk is the biggest Cal representative out there is Mike Silver.
Yeah.
Very passionate Golden Bear dude. He's always pushing Golden Bear propaganda out there. All right, so I'm psyched for college football too. But with your Niners now, I know they just cut Jeff Wilson Jr. He was here for a cup of coffee. He actually scored a touchdown against the Raiders a couple of weeks ago, but now he's gone. So the backfield is now starting to take shape. Any concerns for you? Any areas where you feel like the Niners are not well loaded as we get ready into the season?
I mean, the wide receiver room is just, and I got to turn the page on Juwan Jennings, I guess. Because
turn the page in what way? What do you mean?
I just I'm not happy about the whole situation, and it's like, dude, again, you're getting paid $7.5 million. He can make up to $4 million in incentives. And can we just cut it with the calf talk? Because if Juwan was truly hurt, do you think he would be begging for a new contract? Like, hey, I'm totally hurt. I'm injured, but give me more dough. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Pretty funny way of looking at it. Yeah. Guys, I can't play. I got a bad wheel over here, but go ahead and double my salary. right.
Who knows if the wheel's going to be better, but just double my salary, please. No, so I'm not going to buy into the calf talk anymore personally. And if that's disrespectful to Juwan, I apologize. But it's like, dude, you haven't practiced in over a month, and it's like this is just getting ridiculous. And I mean,
I want to throw something in the mix on this too, Tony. Is that what you just said? He hasn't practiced in a month. That's significant because. They're having the same conversation right now down in Dallas about Micah Parsons. However that thing works itself out, there is concern now for Parsons over here in San Francisco, concern for Jennings, that if you don't practice and you don't work, and I'm sure he's working out, he's keeping his conditioning up, I would have to assume, in one way or another. But at the same time, it's not football shape. You're not in football shape, and it's so easy to pull a hamstring, to pull an Achilles. Like, these are the kind of injuries that happen when guys come in cold after a long holdout and think they're just going to jump in week one and start playing competitive football. So I worry about his return and injuries. That's also part of this equation to me, is that's a common thing. Guys are not ready to play. They jump in, they get hurt.
No question, man. And we've had this conversation about, would you choose music over sports or sports over music? Another reason why I would choose music over sports. Could you imagine, Paulie, that when Bob Weir approached John Mayer
it's me, Bobby.
To play in Den Company, and Mayer plays, I don't know, a tour of shows. And then Mayer says, you know what? I'm going to sit out until you pay me more. Right. And then while sitting out, I'm not going to rehearse any of the music either. Right. So when the tour
I'm not even going to pick up my guitar. I'm just going to play video games. That's all.
Yeah. Just good luck, guys. Good luck. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff doesn't seem to happen in music like it does in sports. And it's like, it drives me bonkers, man, because Juwan has a chance to make $12 million this year between his contract and incentives and game bonuses.
How much money do you know? I know, because you were talking about this real quick before the show started. Tony was going through all this. What are the numbers on the incentives? He can make up to what, like $5 million on incentives, something like that?
No, he can make about 4 between game bonuses and then incentives. Like if he has 50% of the offensive snaps, if he plays 50% of the offensive snaps, he gets $1.5 million. If he has 60 receptions, he gets $667,000.
That's a big hit right there, because I would assume he can record 60 receptions. I don't think that's too far-fetched. He had more than that last year.
Dude, Patrick Patton, applause, dude. 3rd and Jugon. That is
third and Jugon.
Think about Patrick Patton. That was fantastic. But also, Paulie, if he has 6 touchdowns or more, he gets another $667,000. If he has 600 receiving yards, he gets another $667,000. These are all, according to Juwan and his agent, he's gonna double those numbers in his mind. I mean, they're asking for 20 mil. It's like, dude, get out of here with that.
If we tried this, could you imagine if we tried this? We called Cron 4. We just signed a deal with these guys. Be like, yeah, guys, hey, listen, we want to restructure. I know we've done 2 shows for you so far, but we don't like the deal. We want incentives. If we mention Taylor Swift 10 times a show, I want an additional $100,000. You know what I mean? We'll just start like working stuff in, because it's so absurd when you apply that thinking to like a real job. You know, it doesn't fly like that.
It's ridiculous, man. It just bums me out, because here we are yet again with another preseason with crap and crud and bad vibes. I love the vibe of the Brian Robinson Jr. sign, and that he can team up with McCaffrey.
I like it too.
He can spell McCaffrey. He's a good pass catching back. Yeah. He's a big dude. Like, that's
and Sky Moore. Sky Moore was out there returning punts and stuff the other day against the Chargers. I think Sky Moore will be worked into the offense. So John Lynch made a couple of good moves, I would say.
Yeah. No question. And Sky Moore does have the potential. And we here on the PMP show, we blame Patrick Mahomes for the lack of Sky Moore success in Kansas City. We blame Patrick Mahomes. Don't we, Paul?
I blame Patrick Mahomes for everything. I blame Patrick Mahomes for the economy. Dude, I'm ready to blame Patrick Mahomes for the problems in the Middle East. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that jackass, everything would probably be settled down over there. The economy, the unemployment rate, my cable bill, it's all because of Mahomes. He's the problem.
There's also chatter too that they could put Jennings. They could start with Jennings, put him on the IR, and then he's just not available for the first 4 games, because there's that option too, and that would be the 49ers playing some hardball with Jennings.
And then he hurts his chances to recoup all those kind of bonuses and incentives that you just kind of outlined. The less he plays, the more unlikely it is that he'll achieve those. The whole thing is a mess, dude.
And again, he's not top tier, dude.
No. He wants to be. In his mind, he is, but he's not. He hasn't proven it yet. He had a good year. Again, I'll give that to him. He had a good year, made some big catches. There were times where he felt like the number 1 receiver, because Debo was so ineffective last year. But I'm with you. I don't think it's enough. I think he needs to show more before you try to come and get like a huge check that he wants.
So about Paulie, I'm excited for 1 p.m. when the 53-man rosters are made and more cuts are made, right? Official cuts are made, because cuts have been happening all morning. Right. And a couple of cuts that I've already seen. Do either of these names excite you at all? Deontay Johnson, Cleveland released Deontay Johnson, wide receiver Deontay Johnson. Washington released wide receiver KJ Osborne, formerly of the Vikings. Do either of those names, do you have any interest in? Does either of those be like, ooh, I'd like to have him?
I think a look at Deontay. I would. I mean, I think that the Niners, again, I think they're going to need help, especially considering everything you're going through with Juwan Jennings here. If he is on injured reserve or he's not ready to go at the beginning of the year, you're going to have to fortify that group in some ways. So sure, I would take a look. In fact, I'd take a look at both of them. I really would. If these guys can help us win games, I'm interested. And by the way, Tony, I do want to say this. I know that you have kind of a not pessimistic, but you're not happy going into the regular season. I would say if they go up to Seattle in week 1 and they have a nice win, demonstrative win where they're in control of the ball game, I think a lot of these concerns are going to kind of cool down a little bit. But if they go up there and lose, which is always on the table with Seattle, dude, I'm never comfortable with a Niner game in Seattle. I don't care where they are in the standings, where we are in the standing. It's always a crapshoot up there. But I think a win, anyway, my point was a win would kind of calm your nerves, I think, a little bit. I would hope anyway.
No question, man. But like you said, going to Seattle is difficult. And dude, don't think Sam Darnold doesn't have that circled on his calendar and being like, I'm getting back on my old team. I am ready to just throw darts after darts. They've got some good receivers. They have that good coach. So it's going to be a battle up there. Niners are 2.5-point favorites, which I think is odd, but it's going to be a dogfight up there. So I don't expect. I expect it could come down to a Jake.
Oh,
Moody
don't say
field
that.
goal.
No, it easily could. It easily could. All right, hold that thought right there. Well, we already got the game week 1 hinging on a Jake Moody kick, but you're right. That could easily happen. I want to do a quick Young Dental spot, and then I want to say hello to Michael Nash in just a second here. So let's say hello to Dr. Matt Young. He is unable to join us tonight at the game. Unfortunately, he had a prior commitment, but we'll get him next time, because just so you guys know, this is not going to be the last group outing that we have. We're going to continue to do these. We're already kicking some ideas around about something for the holiday season, which will be here sooner than we think. So I just want everybody to know, for those of you who can't attend tonight, couldn't get tickets, whatever the case, don't even worry about it, because Dr. Matt Young is one of those guys. He couldn't make it tonight, but we'll definitely do more of these, and we'll get everybody involved in case you're going to miss this one tonight. Like Dr. Matt Young, the official dentist of the Polymac Particle Show. Please do reach out to the great Dr. Matt Young at 415-392-8611. Shoot him an email anytime, info@youngdentalsf.com. Creative Tony, you should probably be the spokesman today, because you are fresh on the heels of a big Dr. Young appointment. And if I'm not mistaken, you're going back for seconds this week?
I'm going, as Rat says, I'm going back for more, Paulie. I'm going back on Thursday because I have a temporary crown right now, and I'm getting the official, long-lasting crown on Thursday. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing Dr. Young, and which is our point. That is our point, is that the conversation's great. The vibe is great. The care is great. His team is great. The music, when he said to me, all right, it's time, what do you want to listen to? And I said, well, you know what? I'm feeling like a Jack Johnson vibe. Can you play some Jack Johnson? And I'm so relaxed listening to Jack Johnson.
You should have picked one of the bands from the Sound Summit lineup. I'm just saying, you should have said, like, you know what? Give me some Wolf Jet. I want to hear some Wolf Jet. Give me some give me some of that Sly Stone tribute that we're going to be getting up there. I'm cross promoting. Go ahead, T.
Give me some of Sacramento's own Cake. Just
that's right.
Cake. Give me Cake doing War Pigs, okay? You can just give me Cake doing War Pigs, which I've seen them do at the top of the mountain for Sound Summit. But I just want to say, Dr. Young, he takes the care and the vibe is why we love him so much. And that's why, a lot of people don't look forward to going to the dentist. I'm like, oh, Thursday, I'm going to do the show, and then I'm going to get in the car and go see Dr. Young. It's going to be cool. It's going to be an enjoyable experience, which those usually, the dentist and enjoyable don't usually go together, but Dr. Young and his staff make that possible, Paulie.
Thank you, Tony, very much. And thank you, Dr. Matt Young. And by the way, quick kind of insider note here. When we had our lunch yesterday with Don Peralta and Leah and Los D, this kind of overlay you're looking at now, where we're in the mouth of the Dr. Young ad, I asked Dom if he could work something up. So next time we do Long Bridge Pizza, like, I want to see an oven door open, and you and I are in the oven where they're cooking the pizzas. See if that's possible, Dom. I'd love to be in the oven with the pizzas while they're bubbling up. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Matt Young. We love you. We'll see you soon, buddy. And in the meantime, Tony, if he's ready. Okay.
Well, one second, I just want to give for the audio only version, just want to reiterate, info@youngdentalsf if you want to email him, info@youngdentalsf.com, or give him a call, 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611. And they're open weekdays till 7 p.m. and they're open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thanks, P.
Thank you very much. All right, now we're going to bring in our good friend, Michael Nash. He is the promoter of one of the coolest musical events, an annual event that happens every year in up on Mount Tam at the Mountain Theater. It is the beautiful Sound Summit show. And every year we get different lineups. We've had some great bands over the years. We've had Jeff Tweedy. We had Tedeschi and Trucks, Bob Weir, Phil Lesh, Herbie Hancock, for God's sakes. I mean, it's been Los Lobos, just some of the great sets off the top of my head I can remember that were just very, very memorable. And this year, Tony, is the 10th anniversary. So let's bring him in. Our good buddy Michael Nash is going to join us, who is the promoter of this event, and he puts a lot of work into this thing, getting the band signed on, getting all the gear up that mountain. It can't be easy logistically, but it always goes off flawlessly. So if he's in the waiting room, Tony, bring him in. Let's say hello to Michael.
There he is. Hey, Michael, let me get that off your stand by real quick,
take
Michael.
the Crown 4 off there we go. Ooh, I like Michael Nash checking in from his music library. Dude, it looks good there, Michael. How are you, brother?
Man. Oh, Michael, let me see here. One sec.
Hold on. He's muted. Hang on.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get his mic volume going up here real quick. All right, give us a chance, Michael. Can you give us a little chat? Say hello, Michael.
You know what we gotta do? Look, tell him how to unmute his mic. I think he's muted on his end. Tell him to.
Yeah, so on the bottom of your screen, Michael, and don't worry about it. We've done this multiple times with many guests. There's a bottom the microphone logo. Do you see a microphone logo on the bottom of your screen? Click that and make sure that it is not muted, that is not crossed out. Okay. Yeah, and let me see what else we can do here.
You look good, Michael. It looks you're looking good.
You look fantastic. The only other thing would be to go into the back end of your computer and find the audio and make sure that you are using your laptop microphone. That's what we would try and do.
I don't think this is working. Poor Michael.
Yeah.
Hi, Michael. Let me see if we can hear you. Darn it.
Yeah.
Tony, how do we handle this? This is unusual.
One more time, Michael. Did I just hear you? No, he said testing 1, 2. I mean, I could see I could read his lips testing. Oh, shoot. Michael, the only other suggestion is if you can go to your system settings on your computer, and this is funny. Michael? Are you using a MacBook or something else? MacBook. Okay.
MacBook,
So go to the Apple. Go to system settings. And then you want to go to your sound, click on sound. And then you want to make sure that your output microphone is your laptop microphone and that the output volume is working well.
Ooh. Michael's getting some love letters here too.
Yeah, right. Oh, shoot.
All right, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna make an executive call right here. Why don't we? We're gonna let's reschedule this piece, and why don't we do this, Tony? Before we bring Michael back on the show next time, why don't we do like a backstage thing? We'll walk him through it. We'll make sure that the levels are good. But so Michael, you look great. I'll promote the show today. Thank you for the tickets. We're gonna do this again. We'll rebook you for like Thursday or Friday. Don't even worry. And Tony will make sure that you're up and rocking. But show him the message from Patty from Napa before we say goodbye. He needs to see this.
Yeah, let me see this. Patty from Napa says he looks handsome, and welcome, Michael, to the show. So
I have to agree. I have to agree, Michael. You do. You look awesome, man. And listen, we're going to promote the show today. Sound Summit 10th anniversary. I personally am very excited to see the Sly Stone tribute. We'll talk about cake. We'll talk about Always. We'll talk about real estate. Youth Speaks, Wolfjet. The lineup is going to be explored and dissected when we reschedule. So, Michael, for now, we'll say goodbye. We freaking love you, and don't even worry about this. It happened. We've had problems in the past. No big deal. But we'll get you back on Thursday or Friday, and we'll do it right. Okay, brother? Okay.
Yeah,
see you later, man. See you, Michael. He's so cool. Hey, Tony, what do we do? I hate when that happens. That's so unfortunate. Poor Michael.
I want him to know too, and I'll relay this to him when I talk to him later, that this has happened multiple times with guests in the past, because it's a whole different thing we're doing here. It's a whole different medium that we're doing here. And there's it's not just like getting on the phone and making a phone call. There's all these steps you got to do. So I can do a test with Michael maybe tomorrow, and then we can make sure that all the settings are good. And then we can, because there's a lot on the back end that he needs to check on his end, that we need to check on our end.
Yeah, we'll just do a meeting with him off the air, and we'll set him up, and we'll make sure it's rocking. He's a great guy. Michael is like one of the great old school San Francisco guys. What were you going to say, T? What?
Michael's got stories for days, and I also want to just throw in the fact that with this Sly Stone tribute, it features Taj Mahal, and that is one of my favorites of all time. So the fact that Taj Mahal will be up on the mountain on Sunday, September 3rd, or Saturday, September 13th, is something to celebrate in and of itself. And playing the music of Sly Stone, that's going to be incredible, man.
I got a couple Taj Mahal records. Taj Mahal is great. Taj Mahal, good friends with the Rolling Stones too. He sat in with them over the years. I had no problem with Taj making it up the mountain, T.
Oh, dude, I love it. And just being atop that mountain. I remember I took my kids up there for the first time, and my son, I have a great video of my son, Dom, who was probably like 5 or 6. And he's just roaming the mountain. He just wanted to walk around, and he was dancing to the music while just doing laps around the mountain. I'm like,
was that
this
the
is
year that we hung out with your son and Dr. John at the same time? Is that, yeah, Dr. Rest in peace, Dr. John. But see, that's the kind of stuff Michael brings to you, man. Michael puts these really eclectic lineups together, and every single year you wind up getting turned out. Like, for example, a couple of years ago, he brought this girl up on the mountain. I'd never heard of her. I'd never seen her. Now she's becoming a bigger name. The name is Sierra Farrell. She was freaking amazing. I think she's from like West Virginia, and it's kind of a bluegrassy country music kind of thing she does. Dude, she had a cowboy on the stage doing rope tricks, bro, while she was playing. This guy was jumping in and out of the rope and the lasso. It was amazing. But anyway, at least we got a wave. At least we got a wave out of Mike Nash today. We'll get him back. Tony, let's shoot for Thursday or Friday. Either day is fine. Yeah.
I also just want to say the Jim James set that was up there on the mountain was incredible.
He had the towel on his head. Remember, it was so hot. He had the wet towel. And then Bobby came out and played with him. Bob Weir was singing with him that day. Yeah.
And then also the Tedeschi Trucks set was incredible. When they were on the top of the mountain, they did midnight in Harlem. And I was just like this. That
was one of my favorite sets I've seen in the 10 years we've been. And by the way, Murph and I, if I haven't said this enough, Murph and I will be the MCs of the event. You'll see us on the stage several times throughout the day. It's a lot of fun. Very old school San Francisco kind of vibe in the air. But no, you're right. The lineups every year brings some kind of new like artist that you're not familiar with. But that Tedeschi Truck set was one of my favorites.
It was incredible. And also, like you said earlier about what Michael puts together is it's different genres of music all together on one bill. Like that year that Bill Frisell played. And that was like, it was such a great, for me, energetically, it's, I don't know how to describe his music, but it's not like,
it's kind of fusion-y. It's like fusion. Yeah.
And it's not like high energy rip roaring, but it's also like so soothing. And I was like, I remember sitting at the top of the amphitheater looking over the whole Bay Area being like, this is incredible. And then the War on Drugs a couple of years ago, that was incredible. Like, it's just so tip
Mark
of the
Cannizzaro was here for that gig. Mark Cannizzaro came out for the War on Drugs set. He came all the way from New York for that gig. And by the way, if you want high energy, shout out to Stone Foxes, one of the only bands that have played the Sound Summit show twice. They were asked to come back because he tries to keep the artist like rotating. He doesn't want to do too much of the same thing. But the Foxes played twice and they crushed it. The Foxes were great up there.
No question. It's just a great day. So I tip the cap to Michael Nash, and I know it's a lot of work. And by the way, it's a benefit for the mountain.
Thank you. Great call. Great.
And soundsummit.net is if you want to buy tickets, go to soundsummit.net, and we'll revisit all this information when we actually have Michael on the show. And it's a great day. It's a great Bay Area day, basically. And I think the music starts at 11, goes till I think about 7.
That's right.
And you're up there, and it's just you want to talk about like a nice escape from everything. And you climb that, and you can take a bus. You don't have to worry about driving. You can take a bus up to the top. They have a shuttle service that takes you to the top. It's just a well done day.
Well, and I got to say too, it's one of the great kind of, it feels like old school San Francisco at these events because the artists are all so relaxed and they're so happy to be up there. Because like Tony said, the setting is like the Mountain Theater. If you've not been up there, it's literally an amphitheater carved into the side of the mountain. Then you got the stage, and it's set up kind of like Shoreline, so it's on an incline. And then behind the stage, like Tony said, is the city of San Francisco. So when the sun starts going down at the end of the night, it's like, this is as good as life gets. Like this is, and then the drive back down the mountain after the show is always incredible. Tony, I got to do like a couple of Sound Summit memories for you real quick. One year I was hanging out, and I think Michael was like, hey, Paulie, you should say hi to Bob Weir, because Bobby was walking around. So I start talking to Bobby, and I've met him a few times over the years, like a couple of times at Sound Summit. I played with him once at Sweetwater, but this is a guy, this is an icon. I don't know that, I'm not going to assume he remembers me, but I think he knows, like, I'm the guy who does the sports show. Oh yeah, Paulie Mack, yo. So anyway, I start talking to him about the 49ers, and he loves the Niners, and I'll never forget this. This is probably 2015, 2016. Tony, this is what he said to me. I go, Bobby, how you feeling about the Niner season coming up? Because it's always this time of year, right before NFL starts. And he goes, I feel good. He goes, and this is during like the Alex Smith years. Here's what he said to me. He goes, I'll tell you right now. He goes, we're a Megatron away from being a playoff team, dude. A Megatron away. I'll never forget that. We're a Megatron away, y'all. But the bigger point there is that, like, Bobby is so relaxed. He lives right up the street. Bobby lives like right up the street from that. Nice. That's what Herbie Hancock. Great photo.
Isn't that great? This is on the Sound Summit website. If you go to soundsummit.net, they have galleries from past festivals. I just saw this one. I was like, man, look at that shot.
Bobby literally probably just left his kitchen. Let me go sit in with Herbie Hancock, y'all. I'll be back later. And by the way, that guy on bass on the right, that's the guy who plays bass in the Saturday Night Live band. If you're, forgive me, I don't know his name, but he is a monster. Anybody who's on stage with Herbie Hancock is a freaking monster. Oh, these are great, dude.
Look at this. Look at this. This is Grace Potter. Look at Grace Potter and Bobby.
Yeah. Oh, look how happy she is to be playing with Bob. That's Grace Potter, y'all. Yeah.
Oh man. See, this wants me to get back atop the mountain immediately.
Look at the smiles too. Look how happy she is, dude.
Look at the shot of Grace Potter. Sorry. Let me just put this over. Look at that.
Yeah. Flying V. Nice shot. Yeah.
What a shot, man. Oh my God.
I think Jay Blakesberg shoots this usually. He's our buddy, Jay Blakesberg. He's kind of known as a Grateful Dead photographer. Yeah, there you go. There's the setting.
Yeah, that's a great setting right there. So you can see what we're talking about. You're atop the mountain and it's overlooking the whole Bay Area, and you're in this like enclosed by all these beautiful trees. It's just a wonderful day.
Well, here's the thing. We do have a pair of tickets to give away, but why don't we hold on to those, Tony? We'll do that later on in the week. And the show, by the way, if you're interested in attending, you still can get tickets. Go to the Sound Summit website, and also we will have a pair to give away. The show is a week from actually 2 weeks from this weekend. It's September 13th, Saturday, September 13th. So you got time to make plans and get up there if you're interested. Okay, Tony, in the meantime, Donnie go ahead.
Don Peralta being a super. I know Michael's not on the show right now, but I want to honor the super. And he says, welcome to the PNP Army. Michael Nash, Sound Summit rules. September 13th, 2025 is going to rock. So thank you, Dom, for the super, my man. And then we also shared Patty from Napa's super. And then going back to this is a funny one. It has nothing to do with Sound Summit, but Bake That Dough LLC. By the way, I think they're coming tonight and they're bringing fresh baked cookies. Bake That Dough LLC. He says Giants need a HELOC loan to bring in some studs. So we're talking about.
Sorry, T, go ahead.
Well, I was saying we were talking about Carlos De La Fuente and specializing in HELOC loans with flex funding. That's a great line about the Giants needing a HELOC to bring in some studs because, yes, they are struggling, but we got Verlander on the mound today. He's 1-10. When you see that in print, 1-10, that's rough stuff. And he has a 4.64 ERA. So it's give us a win tonight, Verlander. Come on, man. Your posse's going to be there. And I'm excited to see him.
What does that mean? Your posse's going to be there. What does that mean?
Us, the PNP posse. We're
his posse now. Okay, I see. I didn't realize you said your posse. Okay, I got you. The PNP posse.
We have a huge group, dude. We have a huge group going to the game. We're going to be pulling for Verlander, are we not?
100%. 100%. Yeah. By the way, are you going to break out any of your world famous Creative Tony old school Giants gear? Do you have any garments like chosen that you're going to show off tonight?
I could try and grab something, but also it's Roby Tuesday, so I might bring the robe as well. Because I don't know what the weather will be like up in the city, so I might bring a robe as well, just to bundle up. But yeah, I can bring some old Giants gear too. You should bring some Giants gear too. You know?
I'm definitely gonna. I'm probably gonna. I'll have a couple things on me now, Tony. As the Giants have basically slipped away from relevancy and slipped away from any like real competitive shot at getting into the playoffs, what are you playing for at this point? You know what I mean? Honestly, like what's the motivation? I mean, for Verlander, I think the motivation is just to pitch well and continue because I think he put up 3 or 4 really good starts in a row. Then the last start he had was kind of a mess again. He got beat up again. So I'd like to see him put the wheels back on. But if you're Verlander right now, what are you trying to achieve between now and the end of September? Like what are the team goals? What are they trying to do?
Just, I don't know. I mean, they're still technically not out of it, right? They're still it would
need to get so freaking hot, and I just don't see that happening. I hope it does. I hope tonight's the start of like an 11-game winning streak, but it's unlikely, buddy. The way that
as a Giant and getting paid a good healthy chunk of change, they're still have the eyes on the prize of the wild card spot. So I think that he's thinking, let me be the spark plug that gets us going into a hot September. That's basically what I think Verlander's got to be thinking. And he's thinking, I got to muster up more than one win for this team. I signed a contract here to perform for this team and for this fan base. and I haven't done it so far. I mean, there's been times he hasn't gotten the run support either. A
True.
4.64 ERA is not great. It's not horrible. I mean, but
it's not good though. It's not Verlander status. It's not like his standard. And by the way, you know what else I always like about the end of any Giant season, regardless of how they're doing in the standings or if they're a playoff team or not, is that we're going to award a new Willie Mack Award winner in about a month. And do you have any feelings? I actually have an idea of who I think would be a good candidate, but I'm curious what you might think. And you guys too in the comment line, who do you like for the Willie Mack Award this year? And Tony, what would a name or two be for you for consideration for that? Because that's a prestigious award. The players select the guy. It means a lot historically, and there's a lot of relevance today for it. Just being bestowed the Willie Mack Award is a prestigious thing. So who do you like, T?
I think it's too bad Dom Smith hasn't been here all season, because I think he could be, a nominee. But I think listening to Scott Osler talk about Elliot Ramos and his vibe in the clubhouse, and I could also see them, giving it to Willie Adames as his first year as a Giant and not having the best, statistical year. Yes, he has 22 home runs, but he's batting like 222, so he's not having the best year statistically, but his vibe has remained positive the entire season. I could see them giving it to Adames too.
We're getting a lot of Adames mentions, a lot of Aaron Casco's, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray in his pants, and Adames. Steve Groschel, Casey Schmidt. By the way, Steve, while I got you on the board here today, I have your Red Devil certificate. It's going in the mail this week, so look for that soon. And happy shopping. Come on up to Red Devil and treat yourself to some nice final. But dude, look at Don Peralta, Adames, Scarlet Fire, Adames. I think you touched something there, Tony. A lot of Adames.
A couple things, Paulie. Steve Groschel will be at Longbridge Pizza today. If you want to hand deliver the certificate, you can, Paulie. He will be at Longbridge.
Okay.
If you want to. And then also, I just got a text from Michael Nash. He says he thinks he fixed the problem. I want to see if we can bring it back on and just see if we can get a connection from Michael. Even if we want to have him on a second time,
sure.
I feel like he's in the green room. Let's see if we can give Michael another shot.
Take two, everybody. Let me get the director's clips out here. Boom. Take two. Michael Nash. Let's give it a shot and see what happens here.
Let's go. Michael, are you there?
Apparently.
Hey, there he is. The soothing tones of Michael Nash. Great to see you. Thanks for fixing that up. What was it? Just an unmuting kind of mechanism thing?
No, there was a button that said turn off digital gremlins. So I turned that off. And,
Always a good move, man. Always a good move. Michael, great to see you. Great to have you on our new show, Polymax Particles. We're having a great time with this. We just signed a new partnership with Cron 4.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it is. It's a really good time for us, and we're really happy to have you back on the show. Tony and we just kind of went through the whole thing. Sound Summit 10th year anniversary, Saturday, September 13th. The gig starts at 11 a.m., goes till 7, like Tony said. And I guess maybe the first question, the most obvious one, Michael, is ticket sales. For people watching the show, if they're interested in attending, how are the sales going? Are there seats still available?
There are seats, and it's pretty simple. Go to soundsummit.net and take it from there. Everything becomes self-explanatory. Yeah, soundsummit.net.
Did you feel any additional, I don't know, not pressure, but did you feel more motivated this year because it's the 10th anniversary where you're like, shoot, I got to do something special this year? Or was it just kind of business as usual when you were putting the artists together?
Yeah, it's never business as usual, but I'd wanted to do something where we, for lack of a better term, curated an event as opposed to just book this band or that band. That's always great. But so I'd had this idea for a little over a year now, which was to essentially have Bay Area artists celebrate a Bay Area music icon. There's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Needless to say in the Bay Area, and a lot of talent that people don't know about, not just the obvious names. Mm-hmm. So the idea was to have a group of both, great musicians that are maybe below the radar and some above the radar to celebrate, in this case, Sly and the Family Stone, because he was a groundbreaker, an innovator, a shooting star. And who doesn't love Sly's music? I don't think you have a pulse if you know like Sly Stone's music. So it just felt like something I wanted to do a while ago. And I thought, hey, let's do it for our 10th and see if we can pull it together. So to your question, I wanted to do something different, and this seemed to manifest pretty well. So.
Let me ask Michael one more, Tony, and then you can go. Sure. I got really into Sly Stone about 25 years ago, and diving into his catalog was such an amazing experience, discovering there's a riot going on. In particular, that album for me really, it's still, you put it on today, it sounds relevant. It sounds contemporary. It doesn't sound dated. but there's all that run of classic albums he had. I guess what I wanted to know is, did you have an idea to do this before he passed away, or was this like a result of him passing away? This Sly Stone tribute.
No, well, like I said, I've had this idea for over a year.
Yeah.
This wasn't new at all. And then the painful irony was, we put it all together. I grabbed Larry Batiste to be our music director, who was totally psyched to do it. We announced our lineup on June 2nd, and a week later he passed. So it was a total punch in the stomach. No, we'd thought about it long before that, and it's a painful irony. You want to give props to people while they're alive if you can. So we're still doing this with a lot of joy, but it's got a different poignancy. And to your point, all these songs, his songs are so topical right now. They speak to this moment as much as they did when they were written. I think that says a lot about him as an artist,
Michael, by the way, congratulations on 10 years up atop the mountain, and so excited for this year. We were just talking about celebrating Sly and Family Stone, and Cake is headlining as well. But what about, well, first of all, the Youth Poetry Slam, that does that start the day? And first of all, everybody should know that Michael is so good about including the Bay Area youth musicians and artists in the festival every single year. So can you explain the Youth Poetry Slam to start?
Yeah, well, so and thanks for that. I wanted to twist it up a little bit. I love giving young people opportunities wherever we can. And instead of just putting another young band on, I thought, let's mix it up and make it, a broader frame as far as genre. So there's this great organization in San Francisco called Youth Speaks, and they gather poets from all over the Bay who are really powerful, young, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. So they're going to be performing between each musical set throughout the day.
Nice.
So between Wolf Jet and Real Estate, between Real Estate and Stand, and so on. And, they've selected some poets. They asked me for my thoughts, but they're all great, and they definitely speak their truth. It's very powerful. And so I love having this element this year. It's another twist on the tail.
Oh, it's very cool. And then also, like, a band like Real Estate, can you tell us more about that band? Because to be honest with you, I don't know much about Real Estate. And what I love is every single time I've gone to Sound Summit, you directly, Michael, are introducing me to new music that I was not aware of.
That's cool.
That's part of the tradition. I was just singing the praises of Sierra Farrell. I had never heard of her. I knew nothing about her. And then when I saw her on Mount Tam, I'm like, oh my God, she's like my new favorite singer. So Tony's right. You turn people on every year. That's one of the great traditions of this event.
Thanks. Yeah, just about Sierra real quick. Yeah, Sierra's, force of nature. I'm really glad we got her when she did. She's just blown up. She just won 4 Grammys, and she's playing huge venues now. And she's fantastic, and she's delightful to work with. She couldn't have been cooler. And then Tony Real Estate, they've been around for a little bit. Their bass player lives out in Bolinas, which is cool, Alex.
Nice.
And they've just got a different vibe. They've had some hits, and like you mentioned earlier, I like to mix up genres. Their sound to me is like sort of a perfect vibe to put on Mount Tam. It's not hardcore pounding rock and roll. It's not this or that, but it just fits with the landscape for me. So I think you'll dig them. And speaking of other bands, do you know this band Always that's playing?
I don't. No, I've seen them listed, obviously, but no, tell us about them.
Yeah, they spell their name with 2 V's, but it's pronounced Always.
Okay.
They're a largely female-driven band, 4 gals and 1 guy. They're from Canada. Molly Rankin, who's their lead singer and songwriter, comes from the Rankin family, which is a very famous musical family in Canada. But they're just fantastic. I saw them live and I was blown away. And my 24-year-old son loves them. They appeal to people of all ages, and they're great. I think if you haven't seen them, you're in for a treat. They're unique. They're powerful. They're really artful and, smart. And it's another, twist on whatever the idea of doing something where everybody is the same. I like to mix stuff up, and hopefully that works sometimes. And it just depends.
Oh, I think it definitely works. That's the beauty of the event. Very eclectic, these lineups, and you get a little taste of a lot of different styles of music. I want to ask you a little bit more about the Sly celebration you're going to have, which we're calling Stand. What would name one of the great Sly Stone albums. Some of the personnel, just tell us who's involved with playing, and I can't wait to see this, but who are going to be some of the musicians playing the Sly Stone stuff?
Yeah. Well, Larry has put together a great 12-piece house band with great area musicians. We have 2 keyboard players, 2 horn players, guitar, bass, drums, 4 vocalists, who are just in the house band, but they're fantastic vocalists. They're going to be singing some leads on songs. And then I've brought in a few special guests. A lot of people wanted to do it, and the time being the amount of who we have, but the timing didn't work. Understandably, it's a busy time of year. But we've got Taj Mahal, who's going to, always delivers. I just saw him at SF Jazz a couple weeks ago. He was fantastic.
Yeah,
he's 83 years old, and he still got it. I mean,
God bless him.
Yeah, then Narda Michael Walden, who is a superstar producer and has played with everybody from Jeff Beck and done stuff with Aretha and everything. He's coming. He was really excited. Greg Rico, he was original founding member of Sly and the Family Stone on drums.
Yeah,
flying in just to do this. He was psyched about it. This
Nice.
great jazz soul R&B singer Martin Luther McCoy, who's making big strides in the Bay Area. He's coming in, going to bring a different flavor. Vicki Randall, who's a fantastically talented woman, percussionist, singer, was on the Tonight Show for years. Rusty Allen, who is the bass player in Sly and the Family Stone after Larry Graham moved on from the group.
Right.
And then, just the session players alone, or the house band, they're just killers. So I think it's going to be amazing. And Larry Batiste, who's a beloved long-term, music guy, music director, arranger. As soon as I called him up, he was like, as soon as he heard the word Sly, he said, "I'm in." So it's a really joyful thing to do. It's not just like, oh, this is a cool idea, but everybody's who is in it loves doing it, and that's just a win-win when everybody feels that way.
I can't wait to see the amphitheater boogieing, man, because when that Sly Stone music starts getting played, I think people are going to get up and start shaking and baking. And then, of course, the headliner, Cake, Michael. I assume now that this is kind of a way to bookend the 10 years, right? Because Cake was if I'm not mistaken, they were the first headliner at the first one.
Well, yes and no. It is a way to bookend it, but it even goes broader than the 10 years because they were the headliner back in 2013 before Sound Summit when I produced Mount Tam Jam, which was a show that gave birth to Sound Summit.
Yeah, man.
And that sold out, and it inspired me to think this should be happening every year. So then I formed a nonprofit, Roots and Branches Conservancy, renamed the event as Sound Summit. And yes, I thought it would be cool to go back to Cake, who's doing really well these days. They just played Red Rocks, and they loved the show back then. I thought it would be nice to go back to the roots of, Roots and Branches, so to speak. And they were all about doing it. So they're going to be fun and, just add to the party. And John McRae's a staunch environmentalist, the lead singer of Cake. And so I'm happy to have him back. He lived in Bolinas for years. He's up in Portland now, but he's a great proponent of Mount Tam and, the environment in general. So, another mix up of genres and folks.
Tony, I'll let you get the final word in with Michael. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, I just love that. I've always loved Cake's music, and I saw them up there years ago at the Tam Jam. And are all those guys still? Do you know that? Are they all still at least local in the greater Bay Area? Or you just mentioned Portland, but are most of them still local, or are they all spread out? Do you know, Michael?
The band's originally from Sacramento, so they're a California, California. I don't know where everyone lives. I know where John lives, and he goes up in Portland. The other guys, I'm not really sure. I don't have a great answer to that, but
yeah. I have another question.
They chose to do us. They got a lot of offers around the Bay. I will say that.
Yeah.
So I'm very flattered. They really dug the event before, so the fact they're coming back means a lot, and they're cool. There's nobody that sounds like them. You're either a Cake fan, you're not a Cake fan, fine. But I think it's hard to be unique sounding as a band, just in general. They just do their own thing, and it is definitely their thing. And people who love them. So, we're happy.
It's funny, Michael, last question from me is that, and I asked this question to our friend Rebecca Sparks, she was the executive producer of High Sierra for 30 years. And I used to ask her, do you ever have, and I'm asking you the same question, are you ever able, because I know you're running around all day
with his walkie-talkie. He's got the walkie-talkie going. Yeah.
Yes. But are you ever able to just take a moment to just enjoy it for yourself and look at what you have put on and see the smiles on people's faces and the enjoyment? Like, are you ever able to just pause for a moment and appreciate all the goodness that's happening up there?
Yeah, absolutely. It was an acquired skill to over the years to find the time to break and go hang with, my family or friends for a minute or anywhere, just anywhere and enjoy the music. So each year I get to do a little bit more of that, I think. And I'll just tell you right now, that stand set, I ain't working. I'm going to be there and I'm going to listen to every song.
Nice.
So
Me
don't
too.
talk to me about any work. I'll go back to it after I'm done. But yeah, it's important to do that. It's important to, be in the moment of the thing and not just like have it all go by and miss what's happening. Because early on, I think I did less of that. And there's some, you feel some regrets about that. You don't want to just watch it on like a video or something. So I make a point of trying to be as present as I can while still doing what I have to do during the day.
Well said, Michael. I can tell you this much. Murph and myself were honored to be part of it. We're totally looking forward to celebrating the 10 years with you. And I will see you soon, my friend. Thanks for the tickets. We'll give those away. I'll give you a name by the end of the week. And anybody who's interested, get to soundsummit.net, get the information, grab some tickets. And there's all the info, too, on how to get you transported up the mountain. All that kind of stuff is available on the website. Yeah, it's all there, and the do's and don'ts and no smoking and all that kind of stuff. But Murph and I'll be on stage introducing bands. I cannot wait. Michael, thank you so much for your time today, buddy. And we'll see. Yeah. Final
One
words.
more thing. I just wanted to say thank you both for having me. And for anyone who's out there watching or listening, Paulie and Tony are just two great human beings who I've had the pleasure of working with for years. So I wish this show great success, and you guys should tune in to these two whenever you can, because they're a total joy and their hearts are in the right places. So keep doing
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Very, very much, Michael. Likewise, we feel the same way about you, and we will see you soon, man. Be good, Mike.
Thanks again, you guys. We'll see you. Okay.
You got it,
Michael.
Michael Nash, everybody. That's the real deal right there, Tony. That's the real that's the kind of San Francisco resident I'm talking about. Mike Nash, dude. And by the way, I always like to brag. I know he always laughs when I do this, but I think this is really cool. That Dick's Picks series of CDs, the Grateful Dead released, the Dick's Picks shows, Mike Nash wrote the liner notes for the 12/29/77 Dick's Pick. So if you own that one at home, it's a Winterland show, and his essay inside of that Dick's Picks is so cool. But anyway, that's him. That's Michael Nash. He grew up a Deadhead. We've exchanged a lot of Grateful Dead stories, and he knows Bobby and all this, but he put so much care and thought into these shows, Tony, and you can just see he's a real chill guy, and I can't wait for 2 weeks. I can't wait to be up there with you, dude. We're gonna be shaking and baking again, dude, and he's psyched for the Sly Stone tribute. I can't wait, man. Cannot wait.
That's what I love about the lineup every single year, is how much thought he puts into the lineup. It's kind of like puzzle pieces, putting puzzle pieces together, and he makes them fit. And I swear, the lunches we've had with Michael in the past, when he talks about a band, I instantly go and listen to that band and check it out for myself, because I trust his ear and I admire his ear, right? He's just got a great ear for sound and different genres of sound, like that, like I mentioned, that Bill Frisell set or that War on Drugs set. And I'm excited to see Always and Wolf Jet and Real Estate. Like, I don't know these bands, but I guarantee you I'll leave there thinking, damn, Nash did it again.
Yeah.
Like he has a magic touch, man. So I'm really excited for it. Soundsummit.net. If you can go, we'll give tickets away at the end of the week, and the winner will be super stoked. But if you don't win the tickets, you should still get up to the top of the mountain for a multitude of reasons. The atmosphere, the music, the whole vibe, everything. Soundsummit.net. Just get some tickets and get up there and join us.
It's a real special occasion. I mean, it really, really is. I'm not overselling this. I'm not overhyping it. Once you get up there and you're hanging out and you feel that vibe and you see and it's run so efficiently and so well, like each band gets to play for roughly an hour. The headliners get a little bit more time, but the point is you're not subjected to any one band for too long. They keep it moving, and you're going to hear lots of different styles. So yeah, man, grab some tickets and join us. I'll be up there. Tony's going to be up there. Brian Murphy will be up there. So we look forward to it. It's always a high point of the year on our calendar. So thank you again, Mike Nash. Ticket giveaway will be coming on Friday. And what do you got, TSC? What are you going to say?
I just wanted some shameless self-promotion that I like the fact that our show can go from Juwan Jennings' anger to the peaceful harmonic vibes,
or a rest in peace Ozzy tribute if need be. You know what I mean? I'll throw this in the mix if I have to. Yeah. And by the way, just look at the mug, dude, with the cross. It's all here. Thank you, Gravy, very much for this. And Tony's shirt too. Where do you see that thing? That thing rules.
It's amazing. It's great. I got it. I'll wear it tomorrow night at the night flight. And I really appreciate Michael's kind words, because we've just had a great relationship with Michael for years, and it's just I love the fact that he approached you guys way back when, because it was, you guys are a sports talk morning show, but he also listened to the show and knew that you guys talked about pop culture and music.
I can't help myself. It's going to come out at some point, even if I have to do like a 49er show for 3 hours. At some point, the Grateful Dead or Zeppelin, something's coming up, Tony. You know what I mean? Something's going to happen, and then I'm off to the races. Yeah, you know how. And you're the same way. You're the same way.
Totally, 100%. So it's just a celebration of literally. Sound Summit to me is like a celebration of what's great about the Bay Area, right? And about especially the North Bay, because that like I know there's an amphitheater like that down UC Santa Cruz has a similar amphitheater. We have these places to go watch music, like the Greek Theater, like the Frost, like Sound Summit, that we need to take advantage of, because you go to other places and they don't have these types of, this natural beauty to go watch music. It's like it's just the perfect setup. So I hope it doesn't sound like I'm trying to oversell it, because I'm not. It's
no, dude, you're speaking from the heart. I agree with every word you just uttered, man. And let's thank Mike Nash again. Also want to thank Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding tonight. Learn with Los, finally here. I will see everybody at Longbridge in a couple of hours. Now, here's the thing. We're going to be, I think the window of time at Longbridge formally is 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. because we got to let Neil get us out of there and then get ready for his dinner rush, which will be coming right behind our exit. So anyway, I want to say I'll be down there by 4 o'clock. That's what I'm shooting for, is to arrive at Longbridge by 4. And if I'm not, that means I'm in traffic, but I'm on my way. Carlos will be there. Yeah, questions for Carlos, you go up to him. You rap with him tonight. Los D is in the house, 925-250-4894. Carlos at myflexnow.com. You need some cash. You need information about a loan. You want to talk about your mortgage. All of these things are on the table with Los tonight. Such a cool guy. You saw him in the pictures. Very easy to talk to and take advantage of him. Man, he's right there. Grab him. Talk to him. Say, yo, Los, I need a minute. That's what he's here for tonight. So enjoy Carlos tonight. Also, thank you, Dr. Matt Young. He can't attend tonight, but we hope to get him down the road at our holiday event. Dr. Matt Young, the official dentist of the Polymac Particle Show. Set up your next appointment or your first appointment now. info@youngdentalsf.com. Tony, 415-392-8611. You asked for your Jack Johnson on the headphones. You got Jack Johnson on the headphones. You see what I'm saying? Are you going to switch it up on Thursday? Or are you going to say, like, today's my Pink Floyd day or whatever it is?
It's funny talking all this Sly Stone. I might go Sly Stone, to be honest with you.
Great
honestly.
You know what? Just start with greatest hits. Everything on greatest hits rules. It might be the best. It's one of the greatest hit collections that's ever been printed. If that's kind of an oxymoron, greatest hits. But anyway, it's awesome. Every track on there rules. So yeah, dude, do some Sly.
Well, and also I'm realizing that Sly's music appeals to the younger generation. I was watching that documentary with my kids, and they'll just, it's not for, like, a lot of my music right now, they're not ready. They're just not into. Because it's not the hip current music.
No matter what you're listening to, it won't be cool with your kids, because that's dad's music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Dad's music is like 50 times more hardcore than the kid. Because it used to be our music was always more hardcore than our parents. We've gotten to the point now where we, the parents, have more hardcore music than the kids. It's weird, but that's what happened. Yeah.
No, totally. But it's just like I was watching that music and they were interested. And I was like, the fact that they're watching this with me and interested and didn't leave the couch told me everything I needed to know about Sly's music. So I'll ask Dr. Young for some Sly and the Family Stone on Thursday when I go see him. But don't forget, open weekdays 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. 415-392-8611. 415-392-8611 for the Young Dental Group there in San Francisco, 490 Post Street, right outside of Union Square.
Thank you, Creative Tony, and thank you, Michael Nash. Thank you, Los D, and thank you, Dr. Matt Young. Tony, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends, but only for a short time, because we're going to reconvene in a few hours at LBP, Longbridge Pizza. We then head right down to the Giants game, where we're going to have a great time cheering on Verlander tonight. Tony, final words, and let's get out of here, buddy.
In honor of Patty from Napa, never say goodbye.
Wow.
Never say goodbye. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never say goodbye. That whole, like, never say goodbye. That's for you, Patty. Little JBJ for you. We're all feeling good. All right, Tony.
Time out real quick. I see a comment from Patty, and she's talking about Estelle, the Taste the Biscuit lady. Tomorrow night, Patty, we will celebrate Estelle's, the whole online shop. There's a whole online shop. We are Taste the Biscuit fans. We are Estelle fans. So she said to post a link. I think YouTube, by the way, has some sort of thing about posting links on the chat or whatever. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the Night Flight. It's perfect Night Flight material. And by the way, Paulie, also good luck to Fox and YouTube, because right now they're battling. And right now, people that have YouTube TV, like myself, they might not get Fox because there's the contractual crap going on between the two of them. It's like, so please come together. And then we got the 53-man roster cut at 1 p.m. So who knows who the Niners are going to cut And who knows who they're going to bring on board, right? Who knows?
Shout out James Gum, Tony. He liked to cut too. I'll never forget that. That's what Jodie Foster said when they were doing like his profile. And she's talking to Sir Anthony Hopkins behind the glass cell. And he's like, why does he do these things? And she's like, I don't know. He likes girls. And he goes, no, because he likes to cut. And then she's doing the cut. Anyway, Tony, we're cutting. Wild Bill's cutting. Shout out Silence of the Lambs on the way out the door. And I'll see everybody in a couple hours. Drive safely. Yes.
Sorry, Paul, one more thing, because I had these notes written down. We talked about doing a mailbag, and Escobar sent the picture of the lover boy.
Well, hold it. That's okay. Hold it for tomorrow. It's something to look
tomorrow
forward
night.
to.
Yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna show Escobar in all of his backside glory, basically.
Okay, can't wait. His sculpted brown cheeks, as he said. I can't wait to see him. All right, Tony, thank you for that. Escobar will do your thing tomorrow night. Give me Diamond Dave, and we'll see you guys soon.
Class dismissed.
On show today, Tony. Thank you for everything. And Dami Peralta, Pine Needle, the Nutter, John Joseph, Patty from Napa, all of y'all, Corinne. I know you guys. I can't wait to hang out with you guys today. Jeff Winkler, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, Winks. I'll see you guys at Long Beach Pizza. Go Giants. Drive safely and get ready to have a good time. See you soon, y'all. Cheers.
Y'all. See you soon.